Hi folks, welcome back to the Battle for the Seven Kingdoms. So today we are going to watch the deciding game between the Proudwing Kings and Les Zouaves in round 4. And this is the game I played, so this is a recording of it. The game is already over, so we know what happened. But it was a pretty epic one, as you can see by the length of this video. And with me is Saraaa. Hello, Saraaa.
Hello.
So we can check the decks. This is the Many-Faced God deck that I did not particularly fancy playing against here. It has the usual, right? So it has War Scorpions, and this time it has all the armies, including King's Landing Mob, that can quite easily find itself in the dead pile, and that means, of course, that you can use the War Scorpions to kill characters. You can use them in combination with the Battle of the Camps, and for good measure, of course, it's also a Duran's game deck with a bunch of strength boosts and Ricasa. So if you want to deal with the military stuff, then Intrigue happens. But it is slightly weaker on the power icons, which is where my deck excels. So I guess that was the goal to turn it into a power game where I could have a chance.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning King's Landing mob also discards your location, doesn't just put himself into the dead pile, right? So that's its primary function, and it is pretty bad against your deck, right? Quite
Yeah,
a few locations that you would like to keep in
it's
play.
everything except storms, and basically, so this is the deck. It's a location heavy deck: Throne, Chamber, Storms, and Dreadkeep. Everything Black says. Um, the good thing is, so there's no more ghoulies. It doesn't really try to kill your characters. So once you have your Melisandre and your what's the other guy, Sir Eldon, right? They're pretty safe generally if you can withstand the pressure. But of course, even so early on in the games we tested, we played a bunch of them, and it looked all right after game one. But then suddenly I started losing all of them. I played against myself mostly, and the Martell side always seemed to win. And a lot of that happened in the very early rounds where you just couldn't deal with King's Landing Mob, and then okay, Iron Throne gets discarded, your Recon gets destroyed, and it's a problem. But even if you survive, let's say you throw everything at them, you use your Shadow Priestess and whatever to survive the early rounds, then they can still kind of turn it around.
Yeah, Princess Plan becomes really big. It's hard to defend power challenges because so many of their characters can't take traitors.
Right. And so you did record commentary initially for this one live, but there were some interruptions that we would need to edit out. So instead, we decided to record the whole thing.
Yeah, and we get Miha's commentary, and we also see what was in his hand.
Yes, I did record it from my perspective. And you can have a look. You can. I can tell you, I've listened to the commentary that Sarah recorded. She got all the guesses pretty much spot on. But you can see confirmation now about what is in my hand. And with all of that said, let's have a look at how the game went. And here we are. So the Martell deck is illegal at this point with the new restricted list, but yeah, still very much legal for this tournament.
Yeah, and the errata is still in place, right? Um, I mean, is already in place on the Iron Throne, but in this tournament, it's not yet in effect, so they can still choose to give your character traits and
Yes.
keywords.
So here's the hand. The thing is, Delena, you don't want to set her up because you lose her search. And I have thrown the econ and then card in shadow, so I'm only spending 6 gold. So I was thinking, do I set up Delena, take the 7 gold? Is that good enough?
Yeah, I was thinking, guessing in when I was watching the game because you were thinking so long about keeping your hand. It's sometimes the case that you have perfect cards and no econ, and you keep thinking, but usually then you decide to mulligan, right? Because this deck struggles with econ sometimes.
Yeah, I have the econ and I have the Iron Throne to support it, so
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. But if King's Landing Mob is in play, that's Iron Throne
Mm-hmm.
gone, and yeah. So okay, I'm setting up the card in Shadows and Elena instead of setting up the Iron Throne. And so we have Guard Town already in play, but the characters, not the scary ones that we are afraid of. No Windblown, no King's Landing Mob, no Ricasso, none of the big ones. And
Well, yeah, you don't want to set up Ricasso anyway.
yeah, so here is the opening. This is always has to be cast into Summer Harvest. It's going to copy this. It could wait for late Summer Feast, but there's no opening really other than this. Varys' Riddle can't copy anything, so this is
Mm-hmm.
a no-brainer.
Well, where is this little can't open in opening, right? But you have trade routes
Yeah, I guess that's
for
that's the
Riddle.
one I can play that I can copy. So this is the one round where I win initiative before they get Clitus. I think Clitus was in play every time when I tested this against myself. And as you can see, I don't have many characters, but I do have Storm's End, and there's no nightmares. So unless it gets assaulted, which it cannot before there's an assault character in the death pile to give the big 6 costers assault, there's no way to stop it. So I can turn the military into power at least and survive that. I can keep Delena alive, right? If I can marshal anything else. And I'm turning it into power anyway because I
Mm-hmm.
can't afford stuff in the death pile. That's the thing.
Yeah, so Martell uses Star for cavalry on first round. I was thinking, okay, they must be struggling at least a little bit because
Mhm.
it's such a waste to marshal him already. Because on the second plot, it would already draw 3 cards.
Yeah, and War Scorpion comes in, not
For
as a surprise, but just marshaled.
yeah, yeah, and didn't put it on the cavalry. So um, yeah, could have at least put it on the desert raider, I guess.
Yeah, maybe he's expecting military to happen, and that's the he goes into that part. That's not going to happen.
Yes, this deck can survive so long without doing any military challenge for entire games if necessary.
So there's no Iron Bank will have its due, nothing like that. So we know that if Windblow is in Shadows, it cannot come out this round. But Mission in Essos could be played.
Yeah, I was thinking Mission and Essos was the reason he marshaled the big army because then the big army can search for the small, the King Landing mob.
Yeah, and this is what I'm thinking now because if King's Landing Mob is used and it's allowed to do a challenge, then that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly the kind of scenario I had in test games where it's game over immediately and nothing I can do. I have one way to stop it. That's Black Cells, but it's still in there, right? I cannot just bring Black Cells out before King's Landing Mob is in play, and then what happens with Delena?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking here I could play Storm's End to stop that, but then I'd need to put King's Landing, Black Cell, sorry, into Shadows with the agenda so that I have the 2 gold. I don't have the Priestess with that plan. I don't have uh, the Iron Throne to get my econ back. And the other thing is I could use the Priestess on the mob if it comes out. That costs me 3, and then I have 4 gold to work with. Now, is that any better? Then I don't get Storm's End.
Yeah, and it's pretty good to save priestesses for later, right?
Yeah. And if I use the priestess, then I need to marshal, I guess, Edric and kill him, which is not great. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, from my perspective, it didn't look great for Martel in the beginning, but also didn't really look great for Baratheon when like the Lena was in setup and yeah.
Well, at least there's no venomous blade to kill her. That really is super annoying when that starts happening. It's not so easily repeatable in this deck. It's no Shadow City Bastard to just, but they can usually. I mean,
Yeah, they can
Windblown.
use mission in SS as
Yeah,
well as just use when reset happens, right?
yeah. So I'm thinking, do I just forget about King's Landing Mob, forget about Black Cells? I mean, I could play Black Cells and then, but I could bring Stormsend out of Shadows, but that doesn't help me because first challenge that's happening is military immediately, and if I can't turn that into power, that gives Delena, and yeah, it's not great. It's trying to figure out if there's some kind of miracle I can do, or do I just have to, yeah, to do what I described earlier. It's not great.
Yeah, I was thinking it's not necessarily the best to bring black cells through shadows because it would be able to trigger anyway before King Landing Mob can do a challenge, but I think here it makes sense because you have to wait for it to come in before triggering it.
Yeah, if I had a zero cost card, if I had another Rose Road, I would marshal Black Cells and put Rose Road with the agenda into shadows.
Yeah, that's true.
And I actually, in the beginning, I considered whether I should tell him to slow down to bring a Rose Road into play before his.
Mm.
But yeah, that wastes my advantage basically with the agenda, so I didn't do that. But yeah, that's too bad. If I had one more gold, I could just do that with, for instance, with the traitor. But yeah, not great. And now here's the thing: if it's wind blown, I'm wasting a chance to defend myself against this intrigue challenge. But if it's King's Landing mob, then absolutely I have to wait with Black Cells here. I'm just hoping I don't lose something important. Edric could be worse. I have the throne, I guess. And he passes, so
Although, yeah, sorry.
yeah, this now is I'm winning dominance with this. This is a huge bonus for me,
Mhm.
and obviously I can do a challenge. Otherwise, I'm not winning it. And I have gold left over. Okay, didn't happen with the black cells, but now I may as
Yeah,
well bring it out.
I was wondering why he wouldn't try with the King's Landing mob in the first round. So I was thinking maybe he doesn't have mission in assets, maybe it's wind blown, right? But yeah, what I was going to say is I think Edric is also pretty good in this matchup just because those hosts get so big, and if you lock them, they stay standing, and you need Edric to remove them.
Yes, and now with Summer Harvest gone, I can go for the econ plot, and he of course goes for retaliation. Now the thing is, I have storms, and so I'm not going to suffer to claim military, but to claim intrigue is not pleasant either for me. And now what? I'm stuck with going first. So one King's Landing mob I can deal with, but if there's two characters with assault in the same challenges phase, that's a problem.
Yeah, and it's also annoying because King's Landing mob doesn't have to be in the challenge, right? It can still trigger on another character with the suit.
Okay, so if I want to play the throne, that puts me on 9 gold left. I kind of have to because this is my only real econ plot apart from trade routes later. And I cannot lose the Northern Harmony so early in the game. So I have to marshal the throne, and that leaves me with 9 gold. And Shadow Priestess takes 3, so that's 6 left. But what to do with them? I mean, an early scene in Flames is pretty good.
Yeah, you need to get the priestess out first, but yeah. I think sometimes it's good with stuff like Venomous Blade or these ones that go back to hand with Mission in Essos that after you know they're there you can discard them.
Yeah, the cheap traitor. And then I'm thinking, okay, I have to spend 4 gold for the cards in Shadows. May as well play the red keep here. Have the full set of locations, nothing duped, but okay. And the thing is, I was thinking, if I don't need to play the traitor, then I could play the priestess and Sin in Flames instead of bringing the traitor out of Shadows. If that works out for me. And now also Adrian here has to make some kind of effort at least to deny me the red keep because if I draw, then I find solutions. It's difficult to draw because you have to turn military into power, so you can't just win them all. And Late Summer Feast sucks as well. I mean, you don't really want to
Yeah, that's
win
what
them
I
here.
was thinking when I was watching the game. Is a late summer feast into a two claim plot is pretty bad because on one hand you don't want to get to claim on intrigue and stuff, but yeah, you have to give away cards for that. At least there's no threat for power right now because it's not much on the agenda. You get one either way.
Traitors are surprisingly useless here. As you can see,
Yeah.
the armies have no attachments except weapons. So, and okay, the reducers are net anyway. There's one or two kings. Landing mob can take attachments actually.
Mm-hmm. And Recast is also a target for me, especially. Yeah,
He's
here
played
comes.
a lot of stuff here. It's not that many cards in hand, so now the Harris is not looking that bad. I can kind of support it with my economy if I get the northern encampment back. Now, of course, if the character stays standing there as big as the throne, that's a problem. But presumably he'll need some. And yeah, what do I do with the mission? And so I was thinking here, if I kneel Ricasso or kneel Ricasso and use black cells, for instance, on the cavalry or the other way around, I can stop the intrigue challenge
Mm-hmm.
being done, and that's quite big because it is to claim. Now he'd have to use the mission in Essos to bring a character in. Now is there Windblown is a character I guess with an intrigue icon that could still ruin my plans.
Yeah, although I think probably you want to get this mob in as soon as possible and yeah, can't pay for Windblown right now. Although there is Indura's name that would be enough to get Windblown actually, but seems kind of wasted either way.
And I'm thinking here, if he does nothing useful, I could play Singing Flames instead of.
Mm.
Yeah, but here it comes. And this immediately requires me to deal with it now. The thing is, I do have a traitor and it can take a traitor, so if it goes into the military challenge, with for instance Desert Trader, I have some kind of chance of defending that. If it attacks with Knights of the Sun on the power challenge, I can defend that as well with Traitor. Of course, there is outstanding Water Gardens and High Road. So Princess
Yeah,
Plan,
I was always assuming there's at least one princess plan in hand.
yeah, I was thinking, can I play Sin in Flames instead? I was briefly considering it, but turns out that no. If I see Princess Plan and discard it, then without the traitor, King's Landing Mob can just beat me that way. So that plan didn't work. And okay, slightly surprising that they're going into a military challenge here without the Desert Trader, who is
Mm-hmm.
printed icon. Now the thing is that means he's not going to do a proper power challenge, and I have a chance to even defend the red keep here.
Yep.
So I can put on the traitor, which gives him 4 strength. What's being assaulted here? The Iron Throne, of course, wants to discard it.
Yeah, although I think here, if he assaulted Red Keep, it would be a bit more scary, right? Although you still win with both of them. But if there would be Princess Plan, that's
Yeah, yeah. If he resorted the red keep, then he had more of a chance. Now he can. If I defend with one, yeah, it doesn't matter. I was calculating here. I remember whether it makes any difference for dominance. It actually doesn't. So uh, I cannot win if I defend, even if I defend with both. If he has a princess plan, so but if I defend with one, I would also lose to War Scorpion being ambushed. Yes, potentially.
although if he went with all three assaulted red keep, he would have won.
Yeah.
Pretty reliably.
Well, just about.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have any
No, I don't.
surprise increased strength.
But then I keep the throne, which
Yeah.
I guess he was going to ruin the
Yeah,
icon
yeah,
as
but
well. So,
he would discard red keep and
mm. So the
get.
thing now is that I have this round went amazingly well because I got the throne chamber and I had the red keep draw as well.
Mhm.
But I did give one card away for late summer feast, which I don't want to do because at the moment he's not drawn anything amazing.
Although there is now Star for Cavalry that's gonna draw three cards.
Yeah, I was thinking, can I somehow not play the Harris, wait for the cavalry to do its thing, and then play the Harris? But how do I deal with stuff if I don't play the Harris now? Uh, that one round, right, where you don't want to play it, where you just need to survive. I always try to get
Yeah.
that one round, and then
I also said in commentary, I assuming you want to wait another round for the Harris. It's very much your style.
Brand the builder cannot find anything. I've just drawn another black cells. All the locations are in play. Peaceful Crows, I can play. It might win dominance for me. Low initiative though. Yeah, and he plays Foreign from Favor, which would have been a good answer to the Harris actually. It's a huge gold because at the moment he doesn't have amazing gold. He has some. He has the reducers, but quantity actually hurts my deck because I have the black cells control, and if he has a lot of charts, that causes me problems. But if he has to kneel them, that kind of suits me. And now I have some options. I didn't want to play to Harris and carry 6 gold through it, right? I need something more to survive the Harris on my end. And now actually I have choices. Do I play Eldon or do I play Melisandre?
Yeah, with Eldon, you can potentially get either two triggers for Black Stars or two triggers for Storm's Island, which are both valid options here, I guess. Um,
Yeah, I'm thinking always in terms of what assault characters can come in because King's Landing mob works with any other assault. So thinking Eldon so that I can lock both of them. Hopefully, if there is another one, Lysandre could kneel one, and then I do Black Cells. Now, as you can see, Black Cells doesn't actually work amazingly well here with the gold I have available. Lysandre takes 5, for instance, and then I have 3 gold to work with and look at the cards, right? Fickle Abandonment coming in without any gold bestowed on it, a bit awkward.
mhm.
And I don't have a 2-coster that Edric is missing because with the Harris you want 5, 3, and 2 in this deck. So Lysandre, Delena, and the 2-coster, but now I would only be able to carry 2 characters through it, which sucks a bit. And the thinking here is basically Lysandre or Eldon.
Yeah, but so if you marshal Eldon, there's actually no way to have two Black cells triggers, right?
Yeah, I could. I could put black cells into shadows, but then the cost doesn't work out.
Yeah, then doesn't work out. I know.
I did actually calculate that a little bit, and couldn't be done. Yeah, sorry about the thinking time. There's a bit of that throughout this game.
Maybe we'll just skip forward in the editing.
No, no, you can get the full experience here. There's no time limit, so people can take time to think. And the thing is, it's not like I'm wasting time for something obvious. This is where the game gets ruined, right? If you cannot stop the assault stuff,
Yeah, and when I was watching, it's like so annoying that you have to need that one character that has traitor, right?
yeah, but it has to be done.
Yeah, of course.
And something needs to go into shadows now. I could, in theory, put in black cells, pay for it, and then put Sin in Flames into shadows. That comes in for one. But, yeah. Again,
But
pickle
you
Bannerman.
can't because then you would have to spend the gold for. Oh yeah, I see how
Yeah,
you're doing.
yeah, it works out. But I'm putting pickle Bannerman in there, and again thinking, if there's no need to do it, maybe I can play Sin in Flames instead. And now what does he do? So I did manage to delay my Duharis, which means the cavalry is still there and it can draw, and he has so much gold. But then he knows Duharis is coming, right? And
Mm-hmm.
whatever he marshals is gone. Honestly, I
Hmm.
thought I'd play Eldon here. It's Melisandre, fair enough. Now I can't lose Eldon to Intrigue. So was anything useful drawn?
Well, there's actually still plenty of gold to work with. You have something that can basically come in for free with water gardens and six more wars so you can marshal a big army. Although you probably don't want it because of the Harris, right?
Yeah, but at this point, even if big army comes in, there's 7 cards in hand. That's the worst thing. But the econ kind of weekend doesn't really want to spend the high road here. So Adrian doesn't have any more econ plots. So he's played Poland from favor and he's played the summer harvest. He has the riddle, which means I
Mm.
cannot afford to play trade routes at any point, unless he gets bad recon and it doesn't matter. And yeah, he's looking for cards, and unfortunately, he's found one. I don't know which trigger
Uh,
it was, but yeah, he's found a way to
yeah,
kill the Lena. And that
that's,
also puts a power uh, icon into the death pile, which sucks even
yeah,
more.
that was such an annoying. I was thinking this one card that can just destroy the whole plan, and it's always one in the deck, right?
Yeah, and now I don't actually have any more Judd, so if I play to Harris and Venomous Blade goes back to hand, there's nothing to marshal that Venomous Blade could kill. That's one good thing, if
Mm.
you could call it that. I have some econ, uh, so that I can work with the bigger characters, but it's not something you want to see usually. And now what do we pass? I was counting here what the dominant situation was. Of course, we can have a look together. So 19 for Martell, right? And we have 18. So at the moment, we are actually losing dominance. However, that's only if Martell doesn't do anything, and the Martell deck kind of has to try something. It could pass and go into the Harris without a fight, but I don't know. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, just slug the assault one, right?
Oh yes, of course it can. it can assault stuff, so I need to use black cells before actually passing this window because it assaults one of the locations, either throne or black cells
Yeah, but
on the
fickle
military challenge.
bannerman, it's pretty harsh, right?
Yeah, well, I'll have to put it out without bestow,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'll lose it for sure. But look, it can't survive the Harris anyway, right? It's 11 gold with empty, so I was thinking, okay, I'll just eat that. So at this point, I should say that Sarah has stolen my alcohol, drank hers very fast. Now she's drinking mine as well. Get more for you. I'll grab some more and you comment it.
Well, so he initiates a weak military challenge that you could defend as military, and then for power he has 7, and he can now trigger the agenda and get another one of these power icon, and pretty easily win.
Yeah,
So I think here
still,
it's clear that it's not gonna be.
still there's a threat of strength boosts, and what I'm
Mhm.
thinking here is what the penalty is. So it's +4, +6, right, for Princess Pen. So that wins any challenge. Okay, so turning that into power, which typical bannerman has to defend because I have to kneel it. It's getting stolen. So that's why I
Yeah.
kneel it. I don't know if I should have taken renown, but okay. Thing is, if I play to Harris, he could keep the bannerman, but not really against black cells. You kind of there's always a chance
Yeah.
Baratheon takes it back.
I think Martell has a bit of a difficult time defending power reliably. It has these Knights of the Sun that have power icon, but then there's so many of them that are intrigue military, right?
And this one I have to eat. Unfortunately, Duran's game is already 5, but he
He
needs
would
some
need
more.
he would need to use the high road, but it could be done, right?
Yeah, I think he would just attack with more in the first place. Losing Singing Flame sucks. Would have rather lost Black Cells, but
Mm.
okay, it is what it is. Now we're also, of course, looking at the dominance situation.
So I was thinking when I was watching, I didn't know your hand, and I was thinking, Sin in Flames would have been great to get rid of that venomous blade.
Mhm. So this is the last. No, he still has. Yeah, this is the last one he's doing, right?
Yeah, because now the other one's left.
And he's gone very high on this power challenge, which actually has now allowed me to win dominance pretty easily.
Yeah, well, to be fair, assuming that he doesn't have Princess Plan, he needed to go with all of them to win actually because of Red Keep, right?
Yeah, sure. But dominance is more important than the red keep. I have some cards, but I have the econ that relies on winning dominance, and
Hmm.
I'm actually now having power.
Yeah, and now,
The board state will become more equal. The
yeah,
the card advantage over my opponent is slightly annoying.
but here in the plot phase, Martel chooses pretty fast, and Miha's thinking, right? And he has this habit of playing the mind games with plots, thinking, oh, the opponent might play the Harris to get rid of it because here Martell really doesn't benefit from it. And maybe I just play Clash of Kings. And that
I
completely did not work previous round, but here it would actually work out if you would have
yeah,
went for it, but
I couldn't risk
it
that.
would be such a risk, yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I could have played trade routes, but then at some point I have to play my own Harris, so just playing
Hmm.
Eldon into that is also not that great. So okay, we play the Harris, and then I'm hoping I'll have a better board after that, although the hand. But okay, look at the econ, right?
Yep.
And I get to go second, which means no venomous blade on anyone here. If I top deck an acolyte of the flame or something,
No, another Behiris.
he still keeps the reducers here, which are not that dangerous. I would have liked a child really. Again, I get a dupe of location that is already there. I like dupes for in case I have to do Imri, and here there's some assault threat that can discard
Hmm.
them. Milk is good though, so if a mob comes in,
Yeah, and mobs can actually take attachments, which is interesting. Usually all the armies have no attachments,
yeah,
most of them, but Windblown and I think Windblown and King's Landing mob both can take attachments.
yeah, I think there's a Intercarrier in one of those golden companies. Also,
Yeah.
it's quite rare. And here it is. So as long as there's only one, if there were two, I have a milk and black cells, so still kind of okay. Now what else is coming? Splitus, so that's my chance to win initiative gone. Although my opponent does have pretty high initiative plots of Chiron, and he plays Venomous
Yeah, and
Blade.
actually, oh yeah, that was one of the I think big misplays here because surely that would have been useful in the later round, right? And here is just
Yeah, I could have even just ambushed it if I marshal the child here, kill it that way, I guess, instead of here where it does nothing.
yeah, there would be an option to actually kill one of its own, right? If
Yeah,
he maybe wanted an icon, but right now it's he already has it from the Lena.
yeah.
Um.
Now what do we do? So there's one assault, which means it's not a problem if I use black cells on it. But the thing I'm looking at now and that I like is only one intrigue icon, which means if I use black cells on that icon, that's one challenge that I don't need to worry about. I'm not losing a card, and I don't have to consider Storm's End in intrigue challenges. That's something that interests me here. Like to get the traitor on King's Landing mob and the milk on it. I'm thinking, is there any difference? Which one comes in through shadows? Do I need the surprise element for anything? I have to lock King's Landing mob before the first challenge anyway, because it can do in combination with another character. I guess it can do military or power, and with the strength boost, it can still win. And if I had a Melisandre in it, that would be great, but I don't. My Senior Planes was gone last round.
Mm-hmm.
Missing that reward infiltrator or something to just kneel it out right here. Yeah, thinking which one comes in through shadows and which one is martial, there is ultimately no difference. So
Well, I guess traitor can be marshaled during the challenge, but I think milk once assault already happens is a bit annoying if it goes on like
yeah,
black cells or something, right?
yeah, but the thing is, I'm doing traitor before the first challenge because I don't want Titus to do an intrigue. He cannot take traitor, so I cannot turn it into power with Storm's End now that I have Eldon and a double Storm's
Mm-hmm.
End trigger. So I want to lock him and make my opponent spend one of those Princess plans to give icons if he has them.
Yeah, he would actually have to spend the high road as well, which does then damage his econ a bit, just because you can't use water gardens for that much stuff except events here, right?
Yeah, having another thought here if I can risk it, leave it, and then play it on King's Landing. But he's seen the traitor, right? It was in play before,
Yeah, fair enough.
so there's not going to be any surprise. So might as well do it immediately. So here we go again, right? Military into power.
Yeah, I was thinking here you could as well defend the military, or even just leave it and kill her. But fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, if I lose military though, then that puts an intrigue icon in my
Mm,
weapon.
yeah.
I'm just defending with the weakest character, see if he has a strength boost. If not, I have some chance to try to defend the red keep even. And it's good going second here. So if I can't defend the red keep, then I just leave it and do challenges back. But if I can, I might. Also
Yeah, I was
depends on
thinking if you
dominance.
defend it with Eldon here, then you could technically do power challenges back, but it's a bit risky because yeah, if he has a strength boost, then getting a military claim is a bit more scary.
Yeah, that's a weak one.
Yeah, but you just have to defend, I guess, to keep your red keep, right?
Yeah, Eldon is the better character because at least there's some chance I could prefer intrigue over power when I attack back. Whereas I'm never doing military against this deck. Just kill King's Landing Mob at this point, or even Desert. I mean Desert Trader, but
Mm,
it would only get one trigger. I'm not going to keep doing the military, but it is an annoying trigger. I win power and it comes back and takes my icon, so that's not great. And now there is the throne and the one gold are good enough to beat Martell's board for dominance. King's Landing Mob has the traitor, so it doesn't count its strength, which means I can do one challenge. There is not going to be any ambush. There is actually Ariel Hotach. Okay, one copy.
yeah. Um,
And here I was thinking, let's if I need to turn intrigue into power, then I remembered what am I doing? I'm just being stupid.
yeah, I think
The,
I don't know what's happening here.
might as well leave it net in case something weird happens for dominance. I need to stand Northern Encampment instead. Do we do power? We're well ahead if you do, right? It's going to be opposed, but it would go to 7-2 and the dominance is 9-1 basically. But yeah, so far nothing that useful has come from the Martell hand, and I'm just going for it again. I hit honestly a great card here. That could have actually come in with no, actually not at this point with the water gun standard, but yeah. I'm just about win dominance, and it's still 8-3 and 9-3, 9-2
Yeah,
now.
now I'm starting to feel a little bit more optimistic about our game because it hasn't started turning around yet, and now this is a perfect board for locations. I was just thinking here which plot you want to play, and just thinking, okay, Brand the Builder does nothing,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't really play trade routes because you want to avoid a riddle.
Yeah, he's
And
played his
then,
the Harris. That's the problem. I'm
yeah,
not getting mine back anytime soon. So I cannot play Riddle, and he knows that unfortunately. So he's not going to walk into it. And I don't feel like Clash of Kings. There's one power on the faction card, so And it's
Yeah.
Cletus is there now and loses me initially anyway, and just not a great
Yeah,
part.
and then next round it goes down, right? Or not next round. So next round, Kratos would still have the initiative boost, and then it would go down, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. So triple duper Melisandre,
Mhm.
not necessarily what you would want here.
Yeah, Battle of the Camps. King's Landing mob is not in the death pile to give me a threat and kill me.
It's interesting. I feel like in this tournament there was not that many decks with Morguli that I played against, which I don't know, maybe just lucky, but yeah.
I do have
So
a Melisandre trigger now.
sorry.
I'm still looking at that one intrigue icon, right? So I can target that and limit my opponent's options. Have back cells as well.
Yeah, the one King's Ending mob with the milk is not a problem, right?
Not at the moment, no.
And actually, Mission in Essos does not work on King's Landing mob in the other way, right? So he can't get rid of it by using Mission in Essos.
No.
I was playing one practice game against Miha and I tried to do that. Realized it doesn't work.
Mm. So here I'm considering putting black cells into shadows by just paying for it because it's the only card I have with printed shadow and the only chance I will have for Eldon to stand black cells at some point and give me a double trigger. You do have to go for Bastard Night Song. So I don't know. I was thinking, what's the odds that two assault characters come in? That kind of ruins my game. But now I'm not bringing another character in, and it's pretty sad. I don't know if this was the right call. Look at all those locations. All the armor is not. Yeah, it's already, I don't know how long, but it's an hour almost. So went to the toilet, and then let's see what comes in while he is marshalling. So he doesn't have amazing gold. That's the one saving race. Although the squire is -2 for armies.
Yeah, and he has that big army. I keep wanting to scroll over the spectators tab in the recording to get rid of the yellow mark.
Hmm.
So this is a long pause. Maybe we can edit this one out.
No, it's staying. Yeah, he needs to think as well, to be fair. So he has a plot that makes some kind of difference, but he does not have an assault character in the death pile, or an army character, I should say. And now I have Melisandre Duke, so she is safe from that trigger, but Eldon is can be killed. I do have Storm's End, so if the worst thing happens, I can turn military into power, and then the plot doesn't work.
Yeah, but you want to first have an army character, and right now it doesn't look very good on that front, right?
Well, I mean, the plot still needs one.
Mhm.
That makes it quite difficult for me to defend Red Keep and to win dominance, and here we go. Yeah, so That really sucks to share what just happened here because it's a King's Landing map that's an assault character and mission in Essos can bring in another one. It can bring in Windblown, right? Can it?
Sure, it can
Yeah.
bring a wind blown, but it has to get rid of either. Well, actually, it has to get rid of Knights of the Sun, right? Nothing else would work.
Yeah. And that kind of ruins my game. And okay, if he's
He
just
makes
doing
a take back, yeah, so like.
this as well in marshalling, I remember the other. That's the only place that he could do this. Okay, he's not ambushing it in.
Yeah.
Um, and now it comes in for this army, which is
Mm.
problematic. So first of all, Black Sails has to trigger on the assault, and then we'll see if it's windblown. Maybe that's still fine. But if it's mission in Essos, then we have choices to make. I don't have any locations duped at the moment. I can dupe the ones that are in shadows, but I wouldn't want to lose my throne here. And even if it's unsuccessfully discarded, you still get the army into the dead pile, and then the big one can get assault. Now, at the moment, the faction card is net, so that's good. It clashes slightly with the agenda, this in Baran's name. But it is good because it save the. Look at the board, right? Without that, it's manageable, but put in a six coster.
Yeah, but now agenda trigger is yeah.
So
Irrelevant.
I was thinking, let's do challenges and hope that something is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll see.
And I think you start doing challenges here, right? And
Because power is, I mean, the opponent would be tempted to defend it, right? And
yeah.
he has that princess, Knights of the Sun or whatever it is. He has the one assault character. If I could get that to kneel on defense, it's weak on purpose. It can be defended, ruins my red keep just so that the assault character kneels. That makes things so much easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Adrian here has a plan to do other stuff that ruins my game. So he's letting this one go. Now there is a war scorpion that he's holding on to. He's even considered a brand builder trigger now. I can take
So I was thinking
Beacon.
maybe here you would want to find dupes for locations, just because either you want to play Imri or you want to
Yeah.
protect them from assault. And I was thinking, okay, maybe you didn't find any, but actually, I was seeing from this perspective there was Red Keep, right, but it's already in shadows.
Yeah, and the next card that I would have drawn was Imri.
Yeah.
I could play that next round, and that's a guaranteed win because there's no stand
Hmm. Well,
other
there's
than yeah.
Wind Blown, but it can stand a limited number of characters. Actually, it can stand King's Landing Mob and Knights of the Sun, but not the big Intimidate ones.
Yeah, and it has to be the challenge, which it wouldn't, because if I need everyone, then it's not winning a challenge. Although the board is pretty big, I need to sack a lot of locations with Imri.
Hmm.
But I am on 10, close to victory. Just so it's clear which one is Black Cell. Wanted to keep the other Black Cells in shadows because it's better if it comes out with Imri. It can immediately trigger if you sack the other one. And also the Black Cells I have in play at the moment is nailed, which means King's Landing Mob cannot get it. It could get the red keep, which would then be saved. But I think it's targeting the throne always anyway, which makes sense.
Yeah,
Ruining my game basically. Discards the throne at any point. Now, do I do anything else? I was thinking, can I do another power? Now, there's no power to steal. I can't really waste Black Storm's End, so at this point, might as well leave it. I don't particularly want to do an intrigue either, because Duran's game is a thing, and okay, I can eat one Duran's game, but if I let him in on defense and then on attack, and I get two Duran's games or something like that, that's 10 power, and look at the result, right? It's 10-1 now, but that would be 10-10 or something. So
Yeah, although two Doran's games, I don't think are realistic. You would need to use both your locations to get to play them, but then you would also need at least one princess plan, right?
yeah, and here is a big decision. So the Battle of the Camps. Yeah, am I going to click past
Yeah, and I was
this
thinking,
quickly?
yeah, I was thinking in when I was watching, you will not be able to win the other power challenge probably because two will get nerfed.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I mean, you could have really turn this into a power and lose it, then you only get one intimidate and you can at least win the next one.
yeah. This was,
But
I think,
I don't know if it makes much difference.
is the only kind of mistake here in this.
Well, not sure if it would make so much difference. One would be lost and one would win.
Yeah, I mean, I get to keep two characters for the other power challenge. Then if he doesn't,
Yeah, yeah, but
if he does it, then I can think about winning dominance.
mm-hmm,
And here I find myself in trouble, right? Because ah, here
mm-hmm.
we go. So let's forget about that. So first of all, this the other assault, and if it wins, bye bye whatever location.
Yeah,
And now I have to think whether Eldon should stand Black Cells
yeah.
and
And I was thinking now we're in trouble, but I was thinking, okay, this was a card that was put into shadows normally, like Marshall, not with the agenda. So I was thinking which ones it could be. I was thinking, okay, priestesses, Shirin are all three, so can't come in. So the only hope here is Old Bill Bone. It's such a waste, right, on already nerfed faction card. I completely missed that it could be a dupe for Black Cells. But
yeah, if it was Shadow Priestess, that would be out of shadows immediately to need the host of the Boneway and lock King's Landing Lob. So too bad didn't have that. But now, so realistically, the penalty is too big here. I have to
mhm.
lock it because at the moment Adrian does not have his game plan, which is to have an army in the discard pile, in the dead pile. I
Yeah.
blocked that completely for in forever now. There's three, so what am I doing next round is the question to block them. I don't like my chances, but okay. I can block them here, but it ruins my round because I have
Yeah, and you
12 for
lose in
dominance.
yeah, you lose dominance, and that's pretty harsh, right? We can kind of depend on it. Really, it looks like there should be enough recon,
Mhm.
but there's not, right? These
There's one
armories are
rose road.
so not armories, encampments are so
I mean, they're great when they work, but yeah. I drew one port earlier for Brand the Builder, which now is looking pretty good, honestly.
yeah.
Not great. And now he doesn't have anything to think about really because he has a power challenge that he can do to deny the red keep, win the power challenge, and he's still winning dominance because he has 11 and I have 10 even if I leave it unopposed.
Hmm.
Just trying to convince myself that there's some kind of hope here. Could I leave
Yeah,
it
I
unopposed
was
and win
thinking
dominance?
no,
But
no,
no.
no way.
Yeah, and if I'd used Storm's End earlier to turn military into power,
Yeah, no, this one could be defended.
I'd have one more standing character. That's the thing.
Oh, if it was unopposed, then yeah, I guess.
And then maybe,
Although he could have just passed.
yeah,
And yours, red key would still be gone, right? Because you would have lost it and the
Yeah, but at least
yeah.
I fight for dominance. He'd have to pass to give me
Mm-hmm.
leave the threat, right? So I'd have cards in shadows, or if he brought them out, then I could win dominance by not opposing. I get the chamber trigger. Now this was a really shitty round to fair. It's 9-5. It was 10-1 a minute ago, and all my
Yeah,
econs now net. And
and now I'm thinking, obviously, you would say Clash of Kings, right? But okay, looking now, this is such a bad icon.
yeah,
But
if I'd won dominance,
we
Clash of
now
Kings is
know, right?
amazing. I'd have
Yeah.
what it would be 10 gold with Clash of Kings with the encampments. I could play out
Yeah,
the
but I was
bastard and whatever
thinking
I top decked.
now, even if you have trade routes, you're you can then win dominance because he will just have so much gold left from that. I'm not sure how it would work out.
Yeah, but I have I could basically I'm not playing anything out if I play Clash of Kings. I mean I can play the port and the bastard of Nightsong with it, but where's the Black Cells trigger then? Because I have zero gold after that. And if I play trade routes, I can play out those cards. I can also get the Black Cells trigger. Okay, two solid characters there, but we'll see what happens. Well, he has four cards, so if I give him the icon, he's just going to marshal them all out. Still time before I get my the Harris back.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping let's get an Imri, with you an Imri here, but look at the cards still more than half of my deck left, so actually not. I don't deserve an Imri yet. I don't think I need to play a bit more. And I have to go first. Just fun for fun. So now we need to top deck something. Your Lord Chart will be alright. And do I use this? I don't have that many characters. He has four cards, and I didn't want him to ruin my game. And this is alright, to be honest. So there's one useless one character that doesn't hurt me, one of the few in the deck. And the runs game is now actually at one,
At 1 year.
so may as well. And okay, I have him in Thunder Trigger, but not much of use here. He has the Harris back now, so if I marshal the Bastard Night Song, he could play the Harris, but he's losing so much of his own board. I was thinking probably not going to happen. So the chart gets rid of one King's Landing mob, and I have Black Sass for the other, which is fine.
So here, right, you have you put Bastard of Might on in Shadows in a minute now, yeah,
Yeah.
and you're left with 10 gold. And I honestly kind of forgot that there's still this bastard left. I was thinking, okay, Elden and Melisandre are both in play. Why did you need to use the trade routes here? It looked like you were gonna just waste the gold entirely, but fair enough, bastard was pretty nice to
Yeah.
have for the Clash of Kings round as
Now I
well.
could have marshaled it and put the chamber into shadows instead, because I had convinced myself I could do some kind of surprise with him, but as first player, not really, right? And I need to use it to lock the mob, so could have marshaled it, done my stuff, and then uh, brought the chamber out when he was guessing what was still in shadows. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's coming out anyway. Although now, if the chamber is discarded for intrigue, that's the card gone. But yeah, it's in play anyway, and it's not getting discarded if I have my way. And some more small ones are marshaled that don't really hurt me. So now I'm, you know that I suck at keeping track of, of players' cards in hand. If I used Scene in Flames at some point, I would lose track by now. But I have one Acolyte trigger, and I know The Ryan's game is in hand, and I know a
Yes.
Squire is there. So there's only one card that ruins my game, and one mystery card.
Yeah, but this one is so such a big world, so hard to manage.
So I could bring in the bastard if I wanted to do a power challenge, but as always, I was thinking if I start with challenges, whatever they are, maybe something will need.
But as always,
Mhm.
I'm used to seeing this deck just pass challenges phase.
Yeah, but there's the power icons are kind of scarce here. So there's altogether 10 strength without using the agenda on the power challenges. And I can attack in such a way with the red keeps to force more than one of them to defend if my opponent wants to defend. And then of course I can get a better black Sails trigger on whatever is left. And if I could get that King's Landing mob to deal. But yeah, we know it's not happening. Just I'm convinced that I'm going to do a power challenge and just calculating which character should do it. And this is five. This is enough if he can get six if he uses both strength one characters here. That is a lot of them though, and I can use black cells to target icons. Then you're going to bed. You could go to bed if you like. There's still an hour left, I
Stop.
think.
Yeah, long game.
No, I think that the next round is the last one.
Well, you say that, but that's still could. It's still I think half an hour, right?
Sure. Yeah, now it's the last time to think. And here, actually, if I remember, that's a pretty big misplay that he makes here. Honestly, I forgot by this time about the War Scorpion, which is in play from round two, I think.
Yeah.
And he's just going to use it to remove my attacker, so he doesn't need to deal with my challenge at all. But he doesn't put in the reducer to ruin my red keep.
Yeah,
And
I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
we'll see in about 15 minutes or whatever the time is this round takes that he actually doesn't deny my red keep here, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Now I don't have a double black cells, so I'm thinking, do I do double Storm's End? Which means I can turn one of the other challenges into power and then still uh, turn one of his challenges into power.
Yeah, what I was thinking actually here is okay, you don't have double black cells. You could use Eldon also on one of the encampments, right? Because
Yeah.
it's looking pretty bad on the dominance front, right?
Well, I have 27.
Yeah, sure. I think calculating his, he also has a
He has
million.
30 at the moment.
Yeah.
What I should have done really is to bring out the Bastard of Night Song and turn his military into power. Because with the Red Keep, he is strength 7 and he needs a lot of attention. He needs two of the biggest characters to kneel or the agenda to be used on the host of the bone, for instance. Needs quite a big commitment. That would get the job done. I don't know. I guess I'm still kind of dreaming that he defends with King's Landing mob, and then I can leave the guy in shadows and do a surprise defense on the power challenge with Storm's End or something. Yeah, I'm not a brilliant player. Let's see what happens here. Do I do it with the little one or the big one? Okay, the big one. So that's six. That's still something. Still needs to deal with this. giving power away every time I do this, of course, that he doesn't properly defend. And you remember way back when the Harris was played, he didn't keep Ricasso. Now
Yeah,
the plots have turned around, and it's just that Galtown. And look at the army, it's pretty sad on that 5 strength. It used to be 10. And the runs game is so weak. Duke
yeah.
Ricasso as well, he played both of them.
I think also he had so Duke because he had two. On the
There's,
next round it would be already three.
there's no real reason to ever duke him against this deck. I think that one,
Could
yeah.
have been three. Then
Yeah, at the very least,
yeah,
I need
okay.
to take the runs game seriously
Mm.
if Ricasso is still there. Now I can just concede it and it's
No,
not a
I'm
big
just
deal.
thinking what the initiative would be with Ricasso on the next spot, but if you play Behest, it's still pretty weak.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's going to be a Clash of Kings from my side, so no reason to play Behest from that perspective. But of course,
Yeah, yeah, but you need. I mean,
you want a number of
yeah,
used plots in the used pile to get bigger quickly. Now, do we do anything else? Do we do intrigue?
yeah. So I think that's pretty unprecedented to see this deck do three challenges.
Yeah, thinking two cards that don't hurt me and a mystery one. Eh, let's see if he defends it. If he doesn't have cards, I don't have a problem at the moment. That's my thinking. But after all of that,
Yeah,
he has refused to leave his King's Landing mob, and now I have that Bastard Night Song with his ability that isn't going to happen, which is pretty sad. I can bring him out without ruining my dominance.
yeah.
He's
He's five
5.
for five. Um, yeah, I was thinking this show was almost like inviting the last game to be played early. But of course, yeah, for 1 power, never worth it. Press one more action or just to make the spectators nervous.
Mhm. Yeah, again, I'd love to stand one of the encampments, but can't afford it really.
Yeah, I was thinking though, would it be that bad? Because uh, none of the other ones have a sword. No one can come in with ambush. So you just take one military claim and one intrigue claim.
Yeah, but after marshalling or putting the Bastard of Nightsong into play, I had to have it standing just so that he can do a fake challenge that he loses.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but right now, if you count the dominance, I did it like 3 times and
I
miscalculated
have
twice.
22. I think he had 25 at this
I think he
point.
had, yeah, 25 or 24, something like that.
Yeah, 25. Which means if he passes, my econ stays ruined, but I do get the red keep, and he has achieved nothing. So what's it worth it to him? So the thing is, Throne and Chamber, yeah, I'm guessing he doesn't care for that. The econ, I have one card, so if he can deny me the red keep, then what does it matter how much econ I have, right? I just play what I top deck.
Yeah, fair enough. Although if you could get dominance, that's 12 versus 3, right? It's pretty- Although you maybe want to have some more on defection to get with clash, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Although Clash is not looking that inviting,
Well, you
but
really don't have much of a choice now, right?
I'm thinking Probably I'm not going to lose next round, so I'd still be able to play the Harris.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well.
And okay, I have Melisandre and Eldon for the Harris, so it's not amazing. I could keep the Bastard Knight song, but he is losing a lot of board. There's even renown on some characters. He's losing most of the assault anyway.
And here you could change this into power, defend with faster to get his ability, but then can he do another power challenge with Knights of the Sun? No, he can't. He can't win. Oh, he could get.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
wins. He
he
has two characters.
wins. He has two characters and he also has still the agenda trigger, right?
Yeah, just thinking that's one military that I can actually afford because now Melisandre has a duplicate, and I'm not putting anything into the death pile if I do that. And then let's see what else he does, right? If he does something more, then I have a chance of beating dominance.
Yeah, it would be interesting to just kill this infiltrator to um, deny his power icon.
Yeah, that's a possibility, although I don't particularly like the prospect of losing characters at this point.
Yeah, and he has a few power icons now with all the King's Landing mobs in play.
So if I turn it into power, that means the Bastard Knight Song is going to defend. I don't. So he has achieved nothing. And if my opponent now plays the Harris, it was a waste. One intrigue icon. Which forces a defense because it has intimidate, so it doesn't matter
Yeah,
for
but if
dominance.
he goes, yeah, if he goes with intrigue, then you can change that into power, defend, win, get the bastard trigger. And here it's beginning to look like he might not have princes, right?
Okay, and he passes. He takes dominance, which is fair enough. Doesn't want to give me any more power, but he gives me the red keep, which draws absolute crap. Dupes obligations. And I've spent Eldon. Okay, spending Eldon has influenced his decisions, but now I wish I'd kept him for one of the encampments. Now,
Mm.
okay, I have my plot. So I was thinking, is he going to play Retaliation or is he going to play Dohaeris? Depends on the mystery card in his hand, I guess. But now that he's given me the red keep, I'm guessing he won't Dohaeris himself. And I win initiative, right? Because of, yeah,
Yeah, I think almost certainly right.
Kratos is there, but it's not enough. So I win initiative and I have the maiden still active here. And yeah, never any good reason to go past 3 unless you're on 14. And I know two cards are bad, so I'm going to trigger it again. And I'm liking this. There's no weird assault or anything like that. There's no
Mm-hmm.
Ricasso, no Princess Plan.
Yeah, no, mission less or something like that.
To be honest, it's kind of sad for my opponent. He's drawn really bad here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. But you also now you have one extra character, which to be fair is one of the good ones. I think in this matchup again, because so many can take traitors, you really want Shirin. Shirin can deal with the big armies.
Yeah, and
And
Delena
perfect for
unfortunately
Clash.
is already dead. Let's see what comes out. So, what I was hoping for the most is for all the mystery cards to be played. And okay, Squire we knew about, and Host was the other mystery card. So now I know he has Doran's game, and there's a dupe of Galtown. So he's not going to do any surprises. But yeah, the board's still pretty impressive there. And look at my economy.
Yeah.
So can't even. I could marshal Shirin, but then there's two hosts that kind of can try intimidating her.
Yeah, although now you can marshal all these dupes. And you don't have to worry that much, right? Because uh, King's Landing mob goes into the dead pile, yes, but the location can't be discarded.
Yeah.
And knowing there's no war scorpions, it's not that catastrophic right now, right? To have army in the dead pile. I mean.
Yeah. So the only way to get Shirin, I can't pay for her if I had the encampments. I would just pay for her. But now, okay. Or maybe I wouldn't because it is kind of a spoil that she has been in the shadow if I just pay for her. Yeah, marshal all the troops at this point and
Yeah.
leave it dead Delena. And honestly, Shirin is amazing. There's
Yeah.
no nightmares or anything like that, so
I think this whole challenges space I was writing, just play scene. Uh, hoping you would get another Melisandre in your life.
thing is now I don't have a black size trigger if I want to keep Shirin as a surprise, which means the mobs can just do their thing now. But okay, I've kind of accepted that at this point. Okay, having to think here. Just looking at the board. Duran's game has grown to 3, but he is on 6.
Yeah, I was thinking, is there a way for Martell to win now? And it really didn't look like. If he gets two claim power challenge, all the Dragons game trigger, and I think he has one renown, he's still so far away, right? Um, yeah. Thinking it would for sure need to be another round, but knowing there's Shirin Shadow, it actually looks fantastic for Baratheon. And you don't need to now desperately trigger Black Cells because even if they're knelt, Eldon can still always stand one of them, whichever location gets assaulted.
Yeah.
So really, pretty good position. I was thinking, okay, it would be great to top deck Imri, but look at this board right now, would Imri even be enough?
No, I think I'd have to wait for him to do challenges so that at least some of them would need. And the econ kind of sucks. I couldn't play Imri, use him, and then remarshal other locations, which
Yeah.
would be amazing if I could. If I had the econ, I could at least remarshal some of them. Mm, yeah, he's not convinced. So he has one weapon. He has intimidate on two characters. That's actually interesting. This strategy to try to intimidate with the big armies was way less scary. You can deal with the big ones, just near them and use black cells. It's all the salt that really gets to the strength boosts. But now, okay, you can try attacking with them in such a way that even if I turn it to the power, he still wins and still gets to intimidate. He has many icons to be fair, so it's not like he's losing his entire board if he tries. That I will just then win with. power challenges back and get the clash triggers and win the game. But here he switches into military. It is to claim. So if he could get military with to claim and intimidate, that's not too bad. Still needs to do a proper calculation though, because if I turn military into power, I have 18 on defense, which is quite a lot, even with
Yeah,
Shireen.
although it's a bit sad if you have Clash of Kings and only do one trigger on defense, right?
Yeah, I suppose so, but it's alright. Yeah, yeah. I don't like the boards to get that big. Well, mine isn't that big, so it's Adrian's fault. Yeah, and what I'm thinking here is as soon as he initiates it, I'll have to have a think about storms, and that's the thing. Mm, yeah, it really needs to Harris this one. You can keep some of the board now for the Harris,
Yeah, there's a lot of small guys. There's
but
the
they do suck. To be fair, and desert traders are there that get priced away. It's the middle ones that are the strongest. Cletus and the mobs and the thingy that I keep calling Princess Plan. What's it called? Prince Knights of the Sun. Could also do with the Rouse Road in this game. I will get all the encampments and all the Rouse Road. It was more reliable. Here we go. So he is overcommitted here. So I can defend this. I have 18 and Shireen, which can remove one. So if I really wanted to, I could change it and defend it. But I'm leaving some of the board still standing, unfortunately. It's not late for me. I could see the other two challenges. So I'm thinking, what happens here?
yeah. So the small chance probably die, right?
Yeah, and there's one intimidate. Did he put one of the hosts in? He did,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he did. Of course.
So if I just leave it, I can oppose with, I guess, with the infiltrator. I take the two small ones, get one of them intimidated, and they all have power icons. And my opponent is kind of he has the agenda trigger, and some still standing. I still have black cells though. Yeah, I'm actually counting now if I can defend it, and I realize that I can, but it's not worth it. And here, when he goes to the toilet, I have a second after I make my decision to check the chat. They're talking about Cine Flames or something.
I think it's like two or maybe three challenges until the end of the game, and it takes still 20 minutes. It is fair because the boards are just monsters, right? And there were some spectators at the beginning, and everybody quit by now.
Hmm.
It's just me and another person. Probably somebody who tapped out already.
Yeah, and after failing to use Black Cells with Shireen, it's now getting assaulted and it will be assaulted successfully, so it's getting that. I have Eldon, so I can stand one. Obviously, I prefer to stand Storm's End at some point because I can do up to two or even three power challenges here.
Yeah, and I was even thinking if you are close enough and he nears the board, then you stand chamber. If it's nailed, if it gets assaulted, and still one more power from him. That's alright, but yeah, I think
Here I
um
type in the chat that I have Shireen in Shadows.
yeah, so that's with knowing the Shireen shadows, that's now makes it much better because realistically now you can just win two clashes on the defense which would mean 14, and then you get dominance.
Two clashes on defense will get me to 14.
The clash is on attack, I'm sorry.
Mm. Yeah, the game is so if there were mystery cards, the strength boosts in hand, it would of course be still
Yeah, but now there's no more mystery
unclear,
cards.
but there aren't. The cards in hand are now Duran's game and Gaia Town. We know that. And it's theoretically now won if I don't do anything stupid, if I've calculated correctly. Whatever he does, he can, after committing so much of his board to this, I don't think he can now defend himself against the Clash of Kings successfully. Yeah, and this I need to take into account as well. So if I'm giving cards for this, giving power for this, that gets him closer. And if he does power to claim, yeah. But I know the two cards and they're not killing me, so I don't want to give him cards. He still has the high road and the gardens, right?
Hmm.
To reduce the cost of anything he can possibly draw.
Yeah, and he is kind of due a princess plan by now. Through half of his deck, and there are three copies, right?
Possibly, yeah. At least two, but I think possibly three.
We'll have a look.
I think he has 8 events, and they're all mission in Essos, the Lance game, and Princess Plan. One of them is two copies. My mission in Essos. So I defend with the character that was going to die anyway, and I've taken care here not to give him a power icon on top of the deck, but now there's, of course, he kills the King's Landing mob. Black Sass is saved, but now gets assault. He could give it to the big army, but then I have potentially you can stand Black Sass with Eldon and lock it. Intimidates the Bastard of Night Song, which reduces my potential to get a bunch of power a little bit, but still not quite enough. There's one more Intimidate character at the moment.
And also, the big one can get a sword and a sword stones, and
Yeah. Can it intimidate Storm's End? Or only Assault?
I don't know. Is there a difference?
I don't think so. Although Thought is kind of like stealth and intimidate in one for occasions.
Yeah, fair enough.
So he has to do that now if he wants to assault another location of mine. This action window. And yeah, I can react to whatever he does. I still have Eldon and I still have Shireen there. There's no way for him to stop my winning if I'm not being stupid right now. I don't see a. You can tell me in the comments if there's a way.
Yeah, I was thinking even if he intimidates, I mean, sword stones and intimidates one, he only has two of them that could defend power. I mean, because he needs two for sure in the right. So one would be still unopposed.
Yeah, and here I'm getting slightly confused by the giant board. So he's used the agenda on his own that pile, on his own Clitus, which means Clitus now has the stuff that King's Landing Mob has, which is Assault,
Assault and army trade.
Arbitrate, and the Power Icon. Just for my own peace of mind here, I wanted to ask whether that was the case, which is kind of embarrassing because it should have been obvious to me.
It's all taking so long.
Sorry about that.
No, it's I like.
But yeah, he's not given the big army assault, which means Storm's End is now safe. And I do have Clash with it, right? So I'm just double checking. So Cletus is the one that has assault, and that's
Yeah, but even if there was a sword for Storm's End, nothing bad can happen.
yeah.
He gets 3 from Duran's game, nears 1. Near Storm's End, and you have still 2.
Okay, and then I just rechecked in my head. Okay, that's the case. Never mind. And this is fine. I don't need to do anything at the moment. Don't need to lock anyone because he didn't give a power icon to the one that can hurt me. He didn't give assault. Yes. Mm. And here we have yeah. Drancers can switch that. I've already started to think whether I need to trigger anything to deal with with Clitus and his icon. He's just started to switch everything around, which is kind of could have said could have waited for me to confirm, right? Mm,
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem, right? It wouldn't change that much,
no,
but it is a pretty big take back to be fair. So like a solid 5 minutes between the trigger and the take back, right?
yeah,
Which fair enough, he also then takes it back.
yeah. I'm just being honest. It's easier for me if he does it the other way because Clitus has a limited range of assault. He can't get Storm's End.
Hmm.
Could get can't even get the red keep. Can only do the little ones. So, but if he gave assault to the big army, then I could stand Black says bring Shirin out and lock it, and then that's the big power icon. Gon Clitus wouldn't have it in that case. He just has one of those splats. What is it called? Knights of the Sun and the reducer. Oh, Knights of the Sun is net. Okay, so he has very little.
He has one more mob.
One more mob, so 5 strength basically altogether on the power challenge, which means he can do nothing, and he could do intrigue without a strength boost. Even if there was a strength boost, it's a bronze game for 3, which gives him to 12, gets him to 12, and keeps me on 10. And there's no way to stop my double power challenges there. I still have Storm's End standing in that case because I locked the host. So either way, it's unwinnable for him. Whatever he does, should just let him keep the host and not rewind it twice. But whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of better when all of the relevant characters were in the middle. Now they're all at the back of the board. It's so big you can't
Hmm.
even see them.
Yeah, now he's realized that maybe assaulting Storm's End would be better, but honestly, no. Even I could even let him do that, and still I have Eldon. Shirin can come in without a Black Sass trigger. I have about 8 ways to win from here. Luckily, it's really the he's initiating the big military challenge that made things so much easier because so much of the board is not.
I really could have put the other mob in just. Yeah. What?
Here we go. So they're threatening Doran's game, which doesn't kill me off if they both attack, but they're still kind of big for the power challenge. If I switch it, I need to defend with all of them. If I with just what is in play right now, right, without using Shirin. which kind of you can see where he's going with this. Right, wants to wants me to do that, then he has potentially the proper power challenge with retaliation to claim, which I could still defend honestly with Shirin and Red Keep,
Mhm.
and that's two triggers which gets me on 12, but then I'm in dominance and I don't actually win the game. I'm on 14 if all of that happens.
Yeah, but he is initiating now with 1/7 strength character and Clitus is 4 on its own. So if you do bring Shirin out, then you can do Shirin and one of the small ones, right? I mean, the small one.
Yeah, that's the plan. Uh, I actually calculated the other way. I calculated, let's lose this. He triggers the runs game, he gets his intimidate, and go from there. I calculated that's fine for me.
Yeah.
I'm still going to win. But then for some reason I started panicking because it gets him to 13 and he has a two claimed plot and still can initiate a power challenge. And I just didn't trust myself anymore that the cards in hand really are the runs game and got down and that maybe there's some kind of war scorpion hidden somewhere or something that I can't see in play. And I thought, okay, let's try to find a safer way to win this by not letting him get to 13 first. And there is one, of course, yeah, Shirin can remove the host and then Shirin and you're already on 2 with the red keep, so we just need a 3 strength character. Shadow Priestess wins. If there was a time limit, I would have won an hour ago, 15 minutes ago. I was ahead most of the game, to be fair. I went 6-4 ahead at some point and then just extended my advantage until he had that battle of the camps, which went badly, but he didn't close it. But with no time limit, that actually suits Martell, kind of give him time to turn it around. But yeah, I honestly had a pretty bad top deck. I
Yeah, I think
camped both of his cards for the two acolyte triggers.
if you see with Acolytes triggers bad cards, it's better than putting good ones on the bottom always, right?
Well, it depends. If they come out, what I don't like is the mystery cards because if I didn't know the cards now and I had to play around a 2 strength or a 3 strength boost on every challenge, I have to play completely differently. And it's so much more difficult. I couldn't just bring Shirin out and play in a way that wins by one. That's the thing. Yeah, sorry, I'm sure you'll calculate things really quickly, right?
Yeah, no, I understand. It was a pretty impressive game, to be fair. Um, having these big boards is just makes me want to quit the entire game, honestly. Just starting doing random challenges. Um,
He's assaulting the chamber now, which in some scenarios stops me winning the game in dominance if it's knelt. Then he gets another round. Clitus is there, so he can go first or second, whatever suits him.
yeah, and now this way that the board is nulled, the characters that are left are not bigger than the Iron Throne. So either way, if you win this challenge and another one, it's already enough to get to 15 with dominance.
Yeah, honestly, I think I get to 15 even before dominance now.
Yeah, but
This Clash of Kings is putting me on 11 and then I can win 2 power challenges. He has to initiate one for me to run out of characters, I think, to put 2 power challenges back.
well, even if he initiates one, oh yeah, to do two back, yeah, you can still always do one. And if he initiates, you still get trigger on defense.
Yeah. Then let's say he opposes the one I do. Then I need dominance to get the
Yeah, but
victory.
no worries, you have everything now.
If it stood black cells, I guess, and locked one of them, that would have helped. If I really wanted to win in challenges. Yeah, but he sees now that it's hopeless.
And you really shouldn't do military right now.
I just doing some more challenges. I never know if when people say good game if that's a concession or not, because some people say that and then they play for another half an hour and they beat you, which is really annoying. And yeah, here's what I was saying. So Princess Plan always there to ruin my game, but not this time. And we can look back, of course, at some of the choices that were made. The Venomous Blade play wasn't that great, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it's not too bad. I think it was really just a lot of not optimal cards for this matchup, right?
And the first round, he says displayed. So mission in Essos would have forced me
Mm.
to bring out Black Sass to lock King's Landing mob. So he couldn't really ruin my game that way, but then
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
think
win dominance from there. That's the
already
problem.
on the and already on the second round, that cavalry could draw three cards if he had enough gold for it.
Yeah. Okay, so there we are. Thank you for being with us on this marathon game. So the Proudwing Kings make it with another win. We stay in the tournament, and hopefully you'll join us next week as well when we play against Stark.
It's my favorite faction. Not to play against them.